Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy conversation series. My name is Kendall Rawls, and I'll be your moderator. Whatever your business is, it depends upon people to deliver and/or support your product or service. Qualified, motivated, and loyal people are hard to find, so when you find them, you want to keep them. However, so many organizations suffer from turnover, which impacts culture and performance. For this episode, I am joined by Dan Schneider, a partner of the Rawls Group, and Renee Winston, an affiliate of Owl Automotive Group and president of People One Human Resources, to dive deep into turnover, what causes it, and how to avoid it. Hi, Dan and Renee. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. It's nice to be part of the group.
Dan, in your opinion, what is one of the key things an organization can start doing immediately or today to ensure they attract and retain key talent?
Well, I think that there are a couple of things they can do, Kendall, and probably this is one of those things that is easier to say than it is simple to do. And that's become the organization that you say you want to be, or that you told people you wanted to be, and that they could expect at the time that they were hired. And part of what also happens is that if there are stumbling blocks, remember that people, assuming that they have at least the basic levels of talent and skills to do the job, and that they get what it is they're supposed to do, they want to do it, and they have the minimal capacity to do it at an acceptable level, is to remember that people can change and that we have a compelling urge to do and be better. And the other aspect that I think is critical is recognizing that human nature does not change. And while human beings can change, the basic nature that drives all of us stays pretty much the same. And there are certain basic fundamental needs that need to be taken care of. So you have to be competitive in terms of compensation and benefit, and you have to be more than competitive, I think, in terms of development opportunities and making people feel like they are getting better, not only professionally, but also personally.
And for me, just to add to some of those comments, is a need for everyone to understand that turnover occurs over a long period of time in an organization, and to get out of that kind of a turnover loop is going to take time to also get out of it. There's no magic wand that exists out here. Actually, I've tried to invent one, but I haven't gotten too far with it. But there's no magic wand that can wipe out turnover and start retaining people immediately. There's a process to have a lot of turnover. It's going to take a process and practices and procedures and an awareness of your people and what's going on with them at all times in order to get out of it. So you have to start building good practices and good processes from even before you hire a person all the way through the life cycle of an employment of a person's employment with the company. So you have to build on those. So start by taking a look at all of the processes that you have in place. If you don't have a process, then you need to either sit down with your team and work through that, or get someone who is familiar with these various processes to help guide you through creating the best processes and procedures for yourself to help eliminate or reduce as much as you can the turnover that we have today, and build good hiring practices so that you can identify the right people and bring the right people on board.
Yeah, Renee, if I could build on that just a little bit, I like the idea of building a process to do all these things. And the target that we used for those processes related to focusing on retention as opposed to turnover was that we wanted to retain probably about 90% of the people. And our range was turnover that would, or retention rather, that would be somewhere between 82 to 90% of our people, which basically means if you want to focus on the turnover, which is what you really want to avoid, then what you're looking at is a turnover range of about 10 to 18%. If you get down into single-digit turnover, then you're probably keeping some people that are not performing as well as they should be. And if it's over about 18%, then you're probably losing more people than you should be. And you need to go back and find out where the issues are. And they could be supervisory, they could be compensation, they could be working conditions, and just make improvements that are going to help you get out of trouble. And keep in mind that the way out of trouble is never as easy as the way in. So it is, as
Right.
Renee said, it's going to take some time to undo what you have done.
And just to piggyback on that, just one more thing is please measure your turnover because you can't affect this unless you know what the turnover rate is. So if you don't have a good mechanism in place, start soon.
Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy is produced by the Rawls Group and hosted by me, Kendall Rawls. Thank you to Dan Schneider, who is a partner with the Rawls Group, and Renee Winston, an affiliate of Owl Automotive Group and president of People One Human Resources. You can hear more of this discussion on our website at www.rawlsgroup.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thanks for listening.